Hello everyone, this is Mike from TCAT's Deep Vinyl Tracks. Doing another video here. What I'm going to be doing over the next, I don't know, month or so is showing you some of the finds that I've had over the past 8 months. The time during which a lot of stuff was going on and I didn't get any videos posted for a while there. I am back. I'm going to start showing some of the things that I found over time. Today I'm going to go through and show you some of the 12-inch singles I've found, and also some records that I found over the past week, actually, on a little road trip that we took. So, first of all, these are 12-inch singles. Somebody decided to get rid of a lot of their 12-inch singles, and I was lucky enough to go through and pick out the ones I wanted. These were for anywhere from $2 a piece, I think is what they were. I think they were all $2 a piece, if I remember right. This first one is a British group from the Soup Dragons, the 12-inch single of I'm Free. And this contains three different versions of the title song, I'm Free. And then also a song called The Love God, the dub version. And it's on this Big Life label. There's swirly purple design. There's that. It was a favorite song of mine back when it came out. How about a 12-inch single of the Stranglers, Skin Deep? And this particular 12-inch single has an extended version of Skin Deep, and also on side 2 has 2 tracks, Here and There and Vladimir and the Beast. That's that, and it's on the Epic label. Also, I like to get anything that this band puts out as far as 12-inch singles go. I'm very excited to get anything by that's on 12-inch by Depeche Mode. This is People Are People, and this has 2 mixes of People Are People, the different mix and the On Us sound or whatever, I don't know. And then there's another track called In Your Memory 3. This is a slick mix edit of that. So there's that on the Sire label, of course. Also, Erasure, Chains of Love, maxi single. This has 4 different versions of Chains of Love, and then it also has The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, it's actually a cover based on the theme song from that, and the Country Joe mix of Don't Suppose. So 6 tracks on this one. Again on Sire label. Another favorite that I had back when it was out, Jesus Jones, Right Here, Right Now. This one has two versions of that, and then on the B side it has IBYT, which is International Bright Young Thing. 2 different versions of that. And of course, you've probably seen the label looking at the cover, since it's a cutout. You can see the label through it. We also have, I showed a bunch of, one of the last videos I did last year, I showed a bunch of Eurythmics 12-inch singles, and I found another one. This one is You Have Placed a Chill on My Heart. This is the dance mix of that. On the B side we have Here Comes the Rain Again, the live version, and Wide-Eyed Girl. And of course, you've seen the RCA label on that one. And last fall on 12-inch singles, 12-inch single by Yaz. This is two versions of Situation. The 5-minute 40-second version, I think, which is on the album Upstairs at Eric's, and the dub version of the same thing. And again, on the Sire label. So speaking of Yaz and Upstairs at Eric's, I also found the full album of that just this past week. This is, I believe, their first album, again on Sire, and probably a little more experimental than what their second album was, especially on a couple of tracks. Very good album. I like Yaz. Alison Moyet broke off later after these two albums, and the two albums that I have, and went on to become a solo artist. Next we have the great Leonard Cohen, Songs from a Room. Great album by him. It has the song Bird on a Wire on it, which I think most people are familiar with. You may have heard covers of that by Willie Nelson or several other artists. This is an original on a Columbia 2i, in good shape. And of course these were $3 a piece. Also, Ry Cooder, I've been picking up pretty much anything I see by him lately. Bop Till You Drop. I'm familiar somewhat with his music, but not with his albums so much, so I picked that one up, of course, and on the Warner Brothers label. And like I said, we took a trip up from just a short day road trip. We went up to Athabasca, Alberta, beautiful little town, probably about an hour north of here. And then we went a little further north up to Slave Lake, which it's the lesser Slave Lake, still a pretty big lake. Nice town, nice lake, nice provincial park up there. And dropped into a couple of secondhand stores, found a few things here and there. For $3, I found this Riggs album, a hard rock band. This one came out in 1982. Not exactly sure how this will sound, but I like the cover. Picked it up. It's on the Full Moon label. So we'll give them a try. A Canadian band called The Box. I think this was only released in Canada and Germany. That's the only releases I could find. Again, not somebody I'm real familiar with, but I've heard some things about them, seen this record around. I don't know if they're local to this area or they're just, since they're Canadian, you see quite a few of them around here, but it is a band that came out around the 80s. They're considered like a pop rock of some sort. Anyway, for a couple of bucks, couldn't pass this up, especially since it looks so good, still in the shrink and everything. The band America. This is the first album that was released after Dan Peek left, so it just was down to these two. Produced by George Martin, released in 1979. I've heard this album before. In fact, I think I went to the concert that was released right after this album, and it's a pretty good album. It's got some good songs on it, but they were starting to lose a bit of their ingenuity with the loss of Dan Peek. After this, their records started to sound a bit similar, but they always seem to pull out a couple of really great songs from each album that they put out. So, America's Silent Letter. One that I was pleasantly surprised to find, that I've been looking for a while, mostly because of memories of this particular band, Blood Rock. This is the Blood Rock 2 album, their most popular album, all based upon the popularity is based around the single DOA, which was their most famous single. Song that a lot of radio stations refused to play because it was a rather graphic description of, I believe, a helicopter crash or an airplane crash. The guitarist in the group said that he remembered seeing a friend of his. He got off of an airplane, his friend flew on to another place, but they only got like 200 feet off the ground and crashed, and so he wrote a song about it. It's on this album, 8 minutes, and I remember listening to this song way back in the 70s when I was probably around 10 or 11. My uncle had the single of this, and we listened to it over and over. I was quite obsessed with it. I remember it keeping me awake at night, having nightmares. But actually, I've heard the whole album before. I know what it sounds like. It's really pretty good, kind of a hard rock. Their first album was more towards this psychedelic sound, but this one kind of falls in between hard rock and psychedelic. But it is quite a descriptive song, graphic song, I should say. And last of all, went into another secondhand store, quite a small one. They had a box of records there, and they were all the usual, Lawrence Welk, favorite polka hits, those kind of things. And this record just stuck out because I couldn't believe it. They only wanted $1 for all their records, and this one was in the bunch, like totally out of place. I don't know if you recognize the cover or not. This is The Killers. This is their album from 2017, I believe, called Wonderful, Wonderful. And don't ask me what it was doing there. It's like this, it's quite strange that it was just sitting there like that. And sells on Discogs, or Discogs has a maximum value of $43 on it. It's almost in near mint condition. I couldn't believe it. I took it up to them and they said $1. I thought for sure they would, try to get $20 for it or something, even though the box said $1 each. But there it was, among a bunch of Perry Como greatest hits and what have you. So that's it. That's what I've got so far. Stay tuned to my channel. Keep watching. I'm going to post videos every now and then of some of the different things I've found, some really cool things over the past 8 months. So thank you for watching, and we will talk to you later.